Let me tell you what being a modern day spiritualist does not mean. It doesn't mean living in a fantasy land. It doesn't mean bypassing reality. And it definitely doesn't mean being high vibe while your real life is falling apart. First, let me welcome you. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am Priestess Zokai. These are my thoughts about being a modern day spiritualist. I have my notes. Maybe you want to take yours, maybe not. However, we're going to get started. The problem with modern spiritual culture is people are so busy trying to escape and they're dressing it up as enlightenment. Oh, I'm so enlightened that I understand that time is not a real construct. So I'm not going to be on time anywhere because wherever I am, I'm always on time because time is not real. Get your ass to work on time. Whether it's real or not, we live in a space. The realm we're on operates by it. So you can't escape that. Trauma, dressed as intuition. Oh, my intuition told me that you shouldn't do da 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 because you've experienced some trauma, not because your intuition is really telling you that. You gotta learn the difference between the two. We just traumatized. We ain't listening to our intuition. And it's not that we don't have intuitive hits because we do. We're all spiritual beings. We all have our spiritual gifts. And I believe personally that we all have intuition. But sometimes we be dressing up that trauma and saying it's intuition. We got to cut that out. Delusion dressed as manifestation. I'm not even going to go there. Let's keep going. Aesthetic over embodiment. You want to have the look of the thing, but you don't want to actually be the thing. You see people, they look rich, they have on labels, they have this and that, but they piss poor. Stop. That's not that spiritual culture. That's getting us in trouble. Is the problem. Okay. This is about to feel like a rant, but it's not. It's really just some thoughts that I be having when it comes to conversations that I have, speaking with my clients, and just in general. And just, we get our downloads and whatever. And I take my notes and I want to talk to y'all about it. Okay. These spiritual spaces where they are teaching transcendence, but they don't teach stability. A lot of these highly spiritual people really got some mental issues. And if you are a stable person yourself, you would be able to recognize that. What's spiritual and what you may need to get a prescription. There's a difference. And these spaces, they're teaching you how to transcend. Your ass gonna be floating up in the clouds because you don't have any stability. You gotta be stable. They teach the expansion, but don't teach integration. Okay, cool. We know how to expand. We know how to go above. We know how to move outside of our bodies. But okay, what else? How does that apply to my everyday life? I can go to the grocery store and start projecting myself in another lane to do my shopping. It doesn't work, right? It doesn't make sense. And then my favorite, they teach the magic without the containment. You have to have a container where you're stable to do these things. And then the stuff isn't working or it's going haywire because they haven't taught the containment. Now, what a modern day spiritualist actually is, according to me, because this is my channel, this is my opinion. You can agree or not agree. It's up to you. You're going to do that anyway, right? Because what Jamie say, that's just how y'all is. Okay, a modern day spiritualist, this is what I wrote down. It's grounded in reality. You understand that there is a spiritual realm and that there is this reality realm that we live in. And you have to know the difference between what's real and what's not, what's spiritual, what needs to be natural. You got to have that grounding. You're regulated in your nervous system. So you're not operating from a space of fear, shame, abandonment, trauma, abuse, but your nervous system is safe and is able to run good, stable programs so that you can manifest, so that you can transcend, so that you can do all the things that, these spaces teaches you to do. A modern spiritualist is stable in their emotions. So they have emotional literacy. You're emotionally intelligent. You understand psychology and energy because they both play a big role. And when I'm teaching my outside in method, I use a lot of psychology because the two go hand in hand. Energy and psychology works together. And then they can build a life that actually works because that's the goal. If we're here, we need to have a life that works for us in real life and not on paper or not just for social media, right? A modern day spiritualist doesn't escape the world. She learns how to move powerfully inside of it. So the goal is not to leave and escape and not do anything because we all hate it here, right? But you have now learned, because you are a modern day spiritualist, how to maneuver inside this thing and do it very powerfully, very strategically, very mindful, very demure. And so then some key distinctions become I manifested it, but I stabilized my system so I can receive it. We make some things very woo woo because it sounds cute, like, oh, I manifested that. But what about if you were just stable in your nervous system and it came to you because you are now able to receive it? Everything don't have to be manifested. Some things just need to be received. Real spirituality looks like boundaries. Write that down. Nervous system regulation, identity work, financial literacy, emotional self trust, relational maturity. If any of these areas are not working properly in your life, if any of these areas sound like I could do a little bit more work around there, do it and use your spiritual tools to do so. If your spirituality doesn't improve your relationship, your money, your body, your capacity to feel safe, it's not spirituality, sweetie. It's aesthetic coping. I know that's hard to hear. Most people get spiritually overly stimulated. Overly. My daughter has me saying overly for everything now. Overstimulated because we doing too damn much. Too many rituals. You just all day, you can't get nothing done in your house because you trying to do a ritual. Let me light this candle. Let me put this jar. Let me go do the. It's too much. Too many teachings. You listening to this person, listening to that person, this class, that class, everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube. You just getting too many teachings and you haven't applied not one. And then you gonna start saying, oh, yeah, I took Zokai class and ain't nothing happened. Well, because you're overstimulated and you're not implementing the things. Don't start blaming us. I'm just playing. Too many downloads. You all day getting downloads and ain't did nothing with them. Some of y'all are so open, and it's a beautiful thing, but you have to learn how to cut it off so you can get some other stuff done. You're going to drive yourself crazy getting all these damn downloads. Oh, I got a download the other day. I got a download 3 minutes ago. Relax. Too many messages. Too many messages. You letting everybody speak into your life. You down to the Walmart and the lady is like, "Oh, I got a message for you." Sometimes you have to be like, "Hold what you got." They should be asking your permission first anyway. And if they're not, that's a red flag for you. Too many readings. Why are you getting a reading every day? And you haven't done what was told to you last year. We don't need all those readings. Too many activations. You're getting activated left and right, left and right, left and right, without enough time to let the last activation simmer down and why do I want to say percolate? I don't know. But y'all know what I'm saying. You gotta let it give it some time before you get the next activation. We don't have no grounding, no integration, no structure, no rhythm, and we don't have no nervous system safety. And when our nervous systems do not feel safe, all kinds of things will start to happen that we don't want to happen. Things won't happen that we do want to happen because our nervous system is not feeling safe. You're not blocked, you're just overly loaded, in the words of my 17-year-old. You're overloaded. It's too much. Streamline, simplify, integrate, ground before you go for more. Sometimes less is more. We hear that all the time. Your system don't need more information, it needs more stabilization. All right. And so this is why I have my space on school, the modern day spiritualist. And so you can have a space where you're not overstimulated. You're focused on one thing at a time, whatever your thing is. And you can take that time to really get your nervous system in a place where it needs to be, get grounded, get stable, have a community, have a good time. So I want to invite you to join that. That sounds like your kind of vibe. But also, not but also, and also, if you want to really focus on stabilizing, I created a 7-day event. It's no charge, it's on school. I have the link in the description where it's just 7 days of stabilizing, where you can understand yourself, your nervous system, your identity, who you're becoming in this season. So it can really prepare you for who it is that you really want to be. And that information will be in the description as well. Join me today in either of those rooms, both of those rooms. Go ahead, share for me, like, subscribe if you please would. Please, ma'am, please, sir. Do all the things, okay? And I'll see y'all again soon. Bye.